everybody. I want to talk to you about the good and the bad. First of all, I'd like to talk to you about the good. Today was my half day at work because when I have to work Saturdays, which I have to work this Saturday coming up, they comp the time rather than pay you the extra overtime, which is fine. I like having an afternoon off during the week. Well, it was time to get my motorcycle inspected, this little girl here, for the state inspection. I have to renew my tag and pay the taxes on it, all that good stuff. And so I took it down to the dealer I bought it from, and this is the good. They were excellent. They did it while I waited on it. I had to have a couple of tires put on it. They were worn out, and did an oil change while it was here. I just said, what the heck, why not just go ahead and let them do it? They did it professionally. They did a real good job, and I think they gave me a pretty good price. I was at the dealership for a while, and I gotta say, I was greeted by, as I walked around through their dealership, I was greeted by about 5 or 6 different salesmen at one time or another. Came up to say hello, and when I told them I was just having my bike worked on in the shop and I was just killing some time, they said, well, if you need anything, please just let me know, and feel free to sit on anything you want to, and have any questions, just let me know. And I was there for a period of hours while this was getting done, so I did spend a lot of time there, and ended up talking with one of the guys who works behind the parts counter and accessories. And a real nice young man, loves motorcycles as you can imagine. Told me he gave up a higher paying job in another state just to be able to work in this profession where he has access to all these wonderful motorcycles. And I asked him how many. He said he had 4. He said more motorcycles. A couple of them are being worked on. He's also a mechanic apparently, but different motorcycles for different things. He's a young guy, so he's a sport rider pretty much, but you know, we had a lot to talk about. For a young guy, he's been riding a while, and he had a lot of wisdom, and we talked a lot about motorcycles and about riding, and he's got a girl in his life who's very interested in it and is learning how to ride herself, and he's fixing her up with a motorcycle, and I wish the best for them both. Got my bike back, got my new tires on here, and we're riding along here right at sunset, and just checking out how we're going to be. They said tires would be a little slippery right at first, but I haven't really noticed any problems with them yet. Like I said, I'm just cruising around. All right, and that was the good, and it was good. Sure, I spent some money, but it's on this motorcycle, this thing that I get so much enjoyment out of. Let's talk about the bad. All right, I'm not going to talk bad about anything that isn't probably my fault. As you might have known from some of my vlogs, I use the Ghost. I use the HD camera, the HD Ghost. I've got a couple of them, and when I got the second one in, I got one as a backup and to do some other footage with it. When I got the second one, when I tried to use the remote mic, the internal microphone wouldn't cut off. And so what I ended up with was really not a lot of volume from the remote mic and a whole lot of wind noise from the internal microphone. And I got in touch with Drift, and they were nice enough to suggest a few things, and they were nice. They did respond to me very quickly, and I'm very happy for that. I went ahead and they suggested doing the latest firmware. Now, I hate downloads. I absolutely hate downloads. And these things, it was always a joke at work whenever we had something new to do at work. Whenever they were going to upgrade the computers, I always offered my boss $20 if he just wouldn't do it. Because we always had a lot of trouble. Every time you do one, you have just a mess on your hands. And anyway, I went ahead and went online and read the instructions. And I think I read the instructions, and I did the firmware update. And lo and behold, the microphone works. That's just terrific. So I got ready to get on my bike and go out and, you know, talk about how great drift was and how easy it was to do. And dadgummit if I didn't find out that the remote control wasn't working now. The two of them are paired from the factory when you get them. When you buy a camera, you get a remote that's already paired to it. But you do have a procedure for going in and pairing these things. And so went back in the house and got off the bike and went back in the house and started working with it. Well, I've been working with it for a couple evenings now, and let me tell you where it stands. Oh, by the way, did I mention that I also did the firmware on my camera that was working? I know, dummy. That was me. What an idiot. Anyway, I should learn, but you know, you trust that it's going to work, so you try it. So I go ahead and I do it. I'm sitting there and I'm trying to get this thing to work, and after a couple of nights work, here's where it stands. Camera 1 will not talk to the remote for camera 1. It won't talk to the remote for camera 2. However, the camera 2 remote and camera talk nicely together. So it worked. The very first firmware, and with the new camera, it worked. Everything's working. The mic's working. In fact, this is being shot on this. This is the number 2 camera. Everything seems to be working just great. So I go back to camera number 1 and camera number 1 remote. This is what I've been spending all the time with. Now, something that's unusual, when you turn the remote on adrift, you might be able to see in the dark here that this is flashing red. That means that it's recording, it's communicating with the camera. There is a white light that flashes, according to drift, when the remote is communicating or receiving a signal from the camera. Well, you can't prove it by me. I can't get it to turn off of that white light. Now, this other remote, when you first turn it on, you can switch it over to all the different modes of whether you want to take a photograph or whether you want to, you know, time lapse or video, whatever you want to do. Of course, I shoot video with it, but I cannot get that remote to do anything but flash white. That's whether the camera's on or off or even in the room. It just flashes. Now, if you push the action button, which is this button right here, which normally would turn it on, it goes to red as long as you hold it, and when you let go, it cuts itself off. Now, I don't know what's going on. Now, I've got another email into Drift, and I'm hoping they can give me some insight on this. In the meantime, I went ahead and I've got another remote coming, even though this one should be under warranty. If they do warranty, at least I'll have a third one. I'll have another spare. But I don't know if any of you guys are using Drift or the Ghost HD, or whether you've had a similar problem, but I'm just, you know, I'm too old for this. I'm not good with computers, and it just drives me absolutely crazy. But oh well, had to get out here and vent a little bit. I wanted to give praise. By the way, the dealership that I use here is the place I bought this bike, is Ride Now in Concord, North Carolina. I know they're a big chain, and you know they've got all the good points and bad points of being a big store. But all I can tell you is everybody I dealt with today was super nice. Left me alone when I wanted to be left alone, and talked to me when I wanted to be talked to. And didn't pressure me to buy a thing, except, of course, what I was there for, which was the inspection and the tires. And that was my suggestion. That wasn't theirs. But meantime, I saw a whole bunch of new motorcycles I would love to have there. Man, they got some bikes. Oh well. It's getting a little dark now. I don't know how much of this will really be visible for you, but I don't know how much of this I'll post. But just wanted to get her out here and try the new tires out and see if they were as slippery as I said. So far, they haven't wiggled a bit. So, you guys take care, and we'll see you next time.